A special message from your soulmate may be closer than you think. My beloved child. Before you decide this is just another ordinary message, pause for a moment, because what you're about to hear has been waiting for the exact version of you that exists today. Not yesterday. Not tomorrow. Right now. There is a quiet shift happening around your life that cannot be seen with your eyes, but it can be felt by the heart that refuses to stop believing. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You have probably wondered why certain memories keep returning without warning, why familiar songs suddenly feel different, why someone's name almost forms in your mind before disappearing again. These moments may seem random, but sometimes the smallest signs appear just before an unforgettable chapter begins. Somewhere, another heart is carrying questions that sound strangely similar to yours. They pause in the middle of ordinary days, feeling as if someone they have never fully met has already changed them. They cannot explain it, and neither can you. Yet every passing day makes that feeling harder to ignore. What happens next is not about chasing anyone. It is about recognizing the moment when everything you believed was impossible begins to look completely different. There is another reason you needed to find this message today. Imagine receiving words that were never expected to reach you, words that remain trapped inside someone's heart because fear always arrived before courage. That silence has lasted longer than either of you realizes. But silence cannot hide forever. Don't skip. Every delayed conversation leaves tiny clues behind, and those clues have been quietly surrounding your life. Maybe you dismissed unexpected coincidences. Maybe you laughed at the strange timing of certain encounters. Maybe you convinced yourself they meant nothing. Yet what if they were slowly preparing you for a message that would feel impossible to forget? Somewhere, someone keeps replaying moments they wish had happened differently. They wonder whether another chance could still exist. They hesitate, they step back, then something reminds them of you again. The distance between two people is not always measured by miles. Sometimes it is measured by one decision that neither person expected to make. And that decision may be closer than you think. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now listen carefully, because this is where everything becomes even more unexpected. The next chapter does not begin with dramatic words or impossible promises. It begins with a feeling that refuses to disappear. A feeling that keeps returning every time life becomes quiet. That is why this moment matters more than you realize. Don't skip. There is a reason your attention was pulled here instead of somewhere else. There is a reason this title caught your eye when hundreds of others could have appeared first. Coincidence often hides inside ordinary moments until one unexpected detail changes everything. And one detail is about to surface. Someone is getting closer to understanding what they should have understood long ago. They are beginning to recognize the value of honesty over fear, action over hesitation, truth over silence. But there is one final piece still missing, and when it appears, the message they have carried inside for so long may finally begin its journey toward you. What that missing piece is, and why it changes everything, is something you are not going to see coming. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. A quiet realization is beginning to take shape, and it is unfolding in a way no one expected. The person connected to this story keeps reaching a moment where your memory interrupts everything else. It happens during ordinary routines, in the middle of conversations, and even when they try to focus on something completely different. Every attempt to move forward somehow circles back to the same unanswered question: what if staying silent was the biggest mistake? Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The more they try to ignore that question, the louder it becomes. They replay old possibilities, imagine different outcomes, and slowly realize that some opportunities only come once. For the first time, they are no longer running from what they feel. Instead, they are trying to understand why your presence continues to leave such a lasting impression on their heart. But the most surprising part has not happened yet. There is always a moment before an important message is shared when doubt makes one final attempt to stop it. That moment is happening now. Questions are racing through their mind. Is it too late? Will the message even matter anymore? What if everything has already changed? Those questions create hesitation, but hesitation never lasts forever. Eventually, one choice becomes stronger than every fear surrounding it. Don't skip. This is why today's story matters. It is not about perfect timing. It is about the courage to finally speak after remaining silent for far too long. Every passing hour brings that turning point closer, and when it arrives, even the smallest sentence can carry more emotion than 1,000 unspoken thoughts. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now the atmosphere begins to shift in a way that feels impossible to ignore. Imagine waking up tomorrow without realizing that something has already started changing behind the scenes. Imagine discovering that what looked like an ordinary day was actually the beginning of an unforgettable chapter. That is how the biggest moments often arrive, quietly, without warning, until one single message changes the direction of everything that follows. Don't skip. The next piece of this story reveals why that message has been delayed for so long, who unknowingly influenced the silence, and what unexpected event finally pushes everything toward the truth. When that hidden reason comes to light, nothing in this story will feel ordinary anymore. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Everything changes the moment an unexpected truth begins to replace every assumption that once seemed certain. The person connected to this story has reached a point where pretending no longer feels possible. They have tried to distract themselves with work, conversations, busy schedules, and endless responsibilities, but your memory keeps finding a way back into their thoughts. It happens in the smallest moments: a familiar place, a passing face in a crowd, a song playing in the background, or even complete silence. Every reminder leads them to the same realization: they never truly let go. What they believed was temporary has quietly become permanent. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They begin asking themselves questions they avoided for far too long. What if I misunderstood everything? What if I walked away too early? What if the person I've been searching for has been connected to my heart this entire time? Those questions refuse to disappear. Instead, they grow stronger every single day. The strange part is that they are no longer searching for perfect words. They are searching for the courage to be completely honest. Deep inside, they already know that honesty may change everything. Yet one final fear still stands in front of them: whispering that silence is safer than truth. They almost believe that lie, until something completely unexpected happens. A single conversation, one unforgettable moment, or one tiny reminder suddenly makes them realize that waiting any longer could become the greatest regret of their life. That realization shakes them more deeply than anyone around them can see. What happens next feels ordinary on the outside but unforgettable on the inside. They stop rushing through their days. They begin paying attention to the little details they ignored before. Every coincidence starts feeling strangely meaningful. Every unexpected delay seems to be leading somewhere instead of holding them back. Don't skip. They remember something they once dismissed without giving it a second thought, and suddenly that forgotten moment makes perfect sense. It becomes impossible to ignore the pattern that has quietly followed them for so long. Piece by piece, the puzzle begins fitting together. They realize that every setback, every misunderstanding, and every unanswered question has been guiding them toward one final decision. They no longer want to hide behind uncertainty. They no longer want fear to speak louder than their heart. For the first time, they imagine what would happen if they simply reached out without expecting anything in return. They picture a message filled with honesty instead of hesitation. No games. No confusion. No pretending everything is fine. Just one sincere message carrying everything they have struggled to say. But before they can take that step, something else captures their attention. A surprising discovery makes them pause once again. It isn't dramatic enough for the whole world to notice, but for them, it changes everything. Suddenly they understand why every previous attempt failed. They understand why every door seemed closed. They were trying to force the wrong moment, while the right one was quietly getting closer with every passing day. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now the tension reaches a completely different level because the silence is no longer empty, it is preparing for something. The message that once existed only in their imagination is beginning to take shape. They think about the first sentence over and over again, deleting it in their mind before writing another version. Nothing feels good enough because this message carries more than words. It carries hope, uncertainty, excitement, and the possibility of changing two lives with one honest decision. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They know that once those words leave their heart, there will be no turning back. Everything will become real. Every heartbeat feels louder than before, every passing minute feels longer, and every sign seems to whisper that the waiting season is almost over. Yet there is one final obstacle that nobody sees coming. It is not another person. It is not distance. It is not time. It is a hidden truth that has remained unnoticed until this very moment. The instant that truth comes into the light, every unanswered question suddenly begins to make sense. The reason the message was delayed. The reason your paths never fully crossed, and the reason everything feels different now will finally be revealed. And when that revelation arrives, it will lead directly to the words that have been waiting to find you all along. There comes a moment when waiting no longer feels like patience, it feels like standing at the edge of a door that is slowly beginning to open on its own. That is exactly where this story has arrived. The person whose heart has been carrying unspoken emotions can no longer convince themselves that silence is the safest choice. Every passing day adds another reason to speak instead of another excuse to remain quiet. They begin noticing details they overlooked before. Old conversations suddenly carry new meaning. Forgotten memories return with incredible clarity. Even the smallest moments seem to point toward the same destination. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They realize that life has been preparing them, not punishing them. Every delay has quietly built the courage they once lacked. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" they begin asking a completely different question: what if this is the opportunity one was always meant to recognize? That single shift changes everything. Fear starts losing its power, and hope becomes louder than doubt. For the first time in a very long while, they stop imagining the worst and begin imagining what could happen if honesty finally wins. They know they cannot rewrite the past, but they can still influence what comes next. Somewhere deep inside, a decision has already been made. Only the action remains. The most surprising part is that nothing dramatic announces this change. There are no flashing signs or impossible events. Instead, everything happens quietly, almost invisibly, making it even more powerful. They pick up their phone more than once, only to put it back down. They begin writing a message, erase every word, and start over again. Every version sounds incomplete because no sentence seems capable of expressing everything they have kept hidden for so long. Don't skip. They wonder whether the first word should be simple or unforgettable. Should they explain everything at once, or allow the truth to unfold naturally? These thoughts follow them from morning until night. Sleep becomes shorter because their heart refuses to rest. The silence that once felt comfortable now feels heavier than ever before. They understand that some messages lose their meaning if they are delayed forever. That realization becomes impossible to ignore. Then something unexpected happens. A completely ordinary moment suddenly reminds them of the exact reason they never truly gave up. In that instant, hesitation begins to disappear. Confidence quietly takes its place. They no longer feel trapped between hope and fear. They finally understand that the greatest risk is allowing another opportunity to pass without trying. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now everything is moving toward the moment this entire story has been building. The message is no longer just an idea, it is becoming real. Every heartbeat feels like a countdown. Every passing minute feels more important than the last. They take one final look at the words they have been carrying inside for so long and realize something that completely changes their perspective. The message was never only about expressing feelings. It was about finding the courage to stop hiding from the truth. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. But just before that message is ready to be shared, one unexpected discovery stops everything. A forgotten detail, hidden in plain sight all along, suddenly makes perfect sense. It explains why every delay happened exactly when it did. It explains why every missed opportunity led to this exact point. And most importantly, it reveals that the message itself is only the beginning, not the ending. There is one final piece still waiting to fall into place, and when it does, the words that have remained unspoken for so long will carry a meaning far greater than anyone could have imagined. The next moment will reveal why this message feels different from every other message before it, and why once it is finally spoken, nothing between these two hearts will ever feel the same again. The closer this story moves toward its turning point, the quieter everything becomes. It is almost as if the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for one simple decision to reshape everything that follows. The person connected to this journey has stopped asking whether they should speak. That question has already been answered inside their heart. Now they are asking when. Every sunrise feels like another opportunity. Every sunset feels like another reminder that time never stands still. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They begin to understand that some messages are not powerful because they are perfect. They are powerful because they are honest. For so long, they searched for flawless words, but now they realize sincerity speaks louder than perfection ever could. The walls they built around their emotions are beginning to fall, one piece at a time. Every fear that once seemed impossible to overcome is slowly losing its strength. And with every passing moment, the message they have carried inside grows clearer, stronger, and impossible to ignore. Then something happens that completely changes the atmosphere. An ordinary moment suddenly feels extraordinary. A familiar place brings back a memory they thought had disappeared forever. They stop walking for a second, close their eyes, and everything becomes clear. They realize they were never trying to escape their feelings. They were trying to protect themselves from disappointment. But protecting their heart also prevented it from moving forward. Don't skip. That realization feels like unlocking a door that has been closed for far too long. The hesitation that once controlled every decision begins to fade. Instead of wondering what could go wrong, they finally imagine what could go right. The future no longer feels uncertain, it feels full of possibility. They quietly promise themselves that if another opportunity appears, they will not allow fear to steal it again. What once looked like coincidence now feels like preparation. Every delay, every unanswered question, and every unexpected twist seems to have guided them toward this exact moment. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now the story reaches the edge of something unforgettable. The message is no longer trapped inside silent thoughts. It is ready to become real. Their hands pause for one final moment before taking the step they have imagined countless times. Their heart is racing, but this time it is not racing because of fear, it is racing because they know life is about to change. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Yet just before everything unfolds, another unexpected piece of the puzzle appears. It is small enough that most people would overlook it, but for them, it confirms that this moment is unlike any other. Suddenly they realize that the message they are preparing to share is only the beginning of a much bigger journey. What follows will reveal why every unanswered question existed, why every delay had a purpose, and why the next word spoken between these two hearts will carry more meaning than either of them ever imagined. The moment is closer now than it has ever been, and the next chapter will uncover the truth that has been quietly waiting behind the silence all along.